want to know, are you more happy with the fact that you can get your information, your medical records, your dental records, your vision records, your financial records, every part of your records? Are you happier to have that convenience to be able to get it with basically an email, with the server push, with a database? Or would you rather have the inconvenience, the fact that it takes a little bit longer to get those records, but at least you know it's not digitized for everyone to see? Today we're going to talk about what Trump just did with your records. To be honest with you, as a libertarian, as a conservative Christian, I am not real pleased with this. We talk about convenience and security, but then actually what we're doing is we're just becoming more vulnerable. Today we're going to talk about the push for it and the push against it. We're going to discuss what he just did with the medical database, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's that good, but we'll discuss it and give your thoughts and comments below. So we're going to discuss your tax-paying dollars going to things that you didn't want. I mean, did you vote for giving money to Muslims? Did you vote for your Congress not working in August? And it'll blow your mind how much money they made. Did you vote for them being able to do insider trading? Because that's what Democrats and Republicans alike are saying that we're okay with. You can't do it, but they can. We're going to discuss some crazy monetary policies by Congress. It's amazing how they're so good with their own money, become mega millionaires. I mean, can do and have anything they want. They must be so good and frugal with their own money, but blow ours. I don't think that's the truth, but let's dive into that story too. And then lastly, we're going to talk about your water. The importance of having and making sure you are ready for water failure, water rights being bought out. We've talked about stories lately about how your water is so pertinent and how it's becoming something that you can't control, from not catching your water to not building ponds to not having any kind of storage. There's laws against all that. Control the water, control the food, control you. America's not ready for that, but we're going to discuss very economical ways to keep water and put it up and set a budget based on it. 5 things that you should be doing now to protect your water. Let's dive into these stories today. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here. Remember, comment, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed. You will be entered into the giveaway that we're going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow. We will actually select the winner throughout the evening, being the last day of July. So please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Also, we do a giveaway on Life with Colby Mack. That channel only has like 15,000 subscribers. So go over there, subscribe, make sure you comment, give us a thumbs up on the last video or so, and then that way you can be entered into that giveaway too. We do 2 giveaways a month on those 2 channels. Also, check out Misty's channel, Life on the Farm. You get the farming experience from her perspective. So make sure you're checking out our channels, and we love to say thank you by giving things away. So if you're subscribed, we're going to be giving away tons of t-shirts, tons of soaps, and things from our farm and from our promoters, so we can say thank you. So make sure you are subscribed. Now let's jump into the stories of the day, because that's why we're here. First, let's talk about what Trump just did. And I'll tell you the libertarian view of it and then the Republican view of it. And the reason I say that is because I think we need to get both sides of this argument. All right, so this is from the independent kind of libertarian view. It says, Trump launches digital health tech ecosystems to bring healthcare into the digital age with trusted partners. This is where it gets scary. The trusted partners for this to take place is OpenAI, Sam Altman, Amazon, Anthropic, which is the same AI platform that actually had AI turn against its own engineers, by the way. Apple, Microsoft AI, well, that's Bill Gates. I didn't think we liked him. And then Google. That is actually who is going to be involved in this. Now let's look at this. This is from the individual perspective and the libertarian. I'm afraid that it's too late to just opt out. But ultimately what we're doing is we're seeing the last signs of vulnerability, to where not only are we surveilled, now our medical records are surveilled to a point of no return. Now we're giving all our information, not on the marketing and retail side like we've always done. Now we're willing to give it on the health side, medical side, the most important information about us. So if you say our medical, our biometrics, which our phones are getting, and then of course marketing, merchandising, that's kind of how you get all those ads on Meta and Google and all that stuff. If all that stuff is listening to you, how do you know that you're ever safe? Now, here's the Republican push on this, and this is where I again, we get to this point where we play semantics, where we actually, I do want things to run good and smoothly, but government, that when they touch things, doesn't really run smoothly at all. But what they're saying is, it's gonna run smoothly because now you're not gonna have to wait on health records to get transferred. You're not gonna have to wait on medical records to get transferred. You're not gonna have to wait on your banking database to get transferred. You're not gonna have to wait on things that run slowly. Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? But the bottom line is, you're willing to give up your safety and health for it, because ultimately now these companies know everything about you. I want you to listen to this. This is from the Republican side. It says, President Trump just launched a stunning new plan that allows American patients to send their records to another doctor electronically, even if it's in different networks. No more new doctors, no more forever filing new forms. This is absolutely enormous quality of life improvement. Now, that sounds good, doesn't it? It makes life easier. But look at what we're giving up. I'm going to give you this perspective. I love what this guy said. I thought he nailed it. He said, why are we so happy about giving up sensitive data, power and control to some of the least trustworthy big tech companies who have coordinated against us for so long? These are the same people that censored us. These are the same people that took our rights away of free speech. And now we're okay with giving them our information. He says, look at Bill Gates. Has he done anything for you other than cause more problems? Bill Gates was just interviewed the other day about AI, and he says, due to the advances of AI, humans will no longer be needed. What will humans do? Not most things, because ultimately AI will. And he says, this is direct quote, he said, I guess we'll decide what's best for humans as the time permits. Who is will? Is it the same 10 people that Trump just named in the national database of literally health and human services and the medical records that now you're giving Bill Gates? You are giving him access to all our files. You're giving Amazon access to all our files. You're giving Meta access to all our medical data. Does that make you feel good? I personally don't like this. I don't like this at all. Look at I want to read this. This is a declared state of emergency from Till Moss, who is a Democrat. I don't like the guy, but listen to what he did. Minnesota is under cyber attack. He deployed the National Guard and declared the state of emergency. Earlier this week, a massive coordinated cyber attack shut down Wi-Fi internal servers and digital infrastructure across St. Paul. The city went dark. Mayor Carter dropped the bombshell. He said, this is not a systemic glitch or technical error. This was a deliberate, coordinated digital attack carried out by sophisticated external actors intentionally trying to harm our city's infrastructure. Full-blown digital assault just paralyzed American City, and no one's talking about it. Now, this is the same information that we're wanting to put online so then we can be hacked. Do we really have safety and security when the same companies that censored us and ghosted us is now going to have our information? Do we really have safety and security when the government that can't even run simple programs that wants to mess us over is now going to be over all your data? I'll be honest with you, this is not what I like. And I think this is very, very bad. Now, before we go any further, a word from today's sponsor. Speaking of how good government does when it comes to government programs, Medicare. Doesn't it just make you nauseous thinking about it, especially as you're older, you're 65, fisting to be, or you are on Medicare? It seems like everybody's out to get you. It feels like you can't get the right part supplement. You can't get this. Your doctor's not on this network. I'm worried about this. Is this the right plan? Am I overpaying? Well, that's why today's sponsor, Chapter, is the best and legit way of looking at Medicare. They can help you. They come alongside you and advise you for $0. It's free. It is $0. Let me say that again. It is $0. Make this call below. Check with Chapter. What they do is come alongside you and say, okay, this plan will work best for you. This plan will not work best for you. This is the best plan for you. The average American saves $1,100. I've seen this in 3 to 4 cases that people has emailed me back saying, thank you for allowing them to help me. You don't have to buy anything. You literally pay $0 and they help you and gain access for you to have a better opportunity for Medicare and for all your needs when it comes to supplement policies. But ultimately what it does is it saves you money and allows you to have a little bit more freedom. There's nothing wrong with saving money, especially as you get older, huh? Check with Chapter today. Let them walk you through Medicare and understanding and making sure you are on the right plan. They're not there to sell you. They're there to help you. $0, guys. Check with Chapter below. Call this number, and I promise you, this has probably been one of my best sponsors, because people have then come back to me and said, this has been a game changer for me. Let it help you as well. Check with Chapter. Now let's go to Congress, because boy, they are doing a good job over there, aren't they? Let's just go through some of the things that I want us to talk about today. This is from C3. Congress, you get paid $174,000 a year. You only work 160 days. That means they work about 40% of the year. So that means they're actually a part-timer and making $174,000. You get fantastic benefits. You can legally inside trade, which is what they just voted on, and Republicans went along with a lot of Democrats to say, we want to be able to do insider trading. You get a pension after just 5 years, meaning all you got to do is serve 5 years and you're covered for life. You can pass bills that funnel money to your family members. You can approve your own travel with other people's money. Completely unbelievable. I want you to listen to these things. Congress in August, each congressman made at least $14,500 and worked 0 days. So they will actually get a payroll check for $14,500. And this is not all the kickbacks. This is not all the extra reimbursements. This is just a flat out check for $14,500 for 0 days of work. GOP Senator Chuck Grassley, who's like 152, is upset that President Trump is asking him to fast track the judicial nominees. Grassley says there's no precedent and we need to uphold what we've always done. I was offended by what the president asked, and I'm disappointed in his personal insults. Now this is from the guy who says we need to take a recess. This is the Republican Party in the Congress. We need to take a recess and get paid for nothing in August. And on top of that, the 130 some odd people that still nominated by President Trump that has been in office for 6 months. Now remember, these presidents are only in office for 4 years. So a quarter of that is a year. Half of that, so 1/8 of his term, 1/8 of these people's quote-unquote term is now still held up to where they can't even do the job because the Republicans in Congress are holding up Trump's nominee. So are they actually working for Trump and working with Trump, or are they wanting to absolutely hurt you? Robbie Starbucks says, I'm offended by Chuck Grassley. He's letting the Democrats block judicial nominees, and they have the authority to move on and ignore it, but they don't because they want to stay with the establishment and the purpose of what the establishment does. Rick Scott, you know, the Florida senator who everybody likes, but to be honest with you, he's just another rhino. Listen to this. GOP Senator Rick Scott says Republicans will oppose a ban on political stock trading because they have the right to make money. Anyone else want to be poor? I don't. Rick Scott's salary is $174,000 a year. Banning his stock trading will make him poor. Now this is a Republican. You know why? Because see, they would have to actually do it like we do, where we don't know information and we just invest in these companies and we hope that it does well. But no, that's not what they want. They want to actually invest in themselves. In themselves. They want to invest in themselves. Did you hear me? So now Pelosi says she's at retirement and made a crap load of money. She's like, sure, I'm for the stock ban trading because nobody's doing that in Washington. She did it forever. The last 10 days, listen to this. The last 10 days, Nancy Pelosi made about $160,000 on stock trading. I mean, that's better than Warren Buffett sometimes. When you come to percentages, flipping Nancy Pelosi should be hired by every firm in the stock market. But you know, they all know this. She's not that good when it comes to picking. It's just she's good because she has the inside information. Whoa. So now the Republicans are standing alongside these Democrats and saying, no, we want to keep on insider trading. That's the best thing for us. I want to show you this. Again, good leadership here, huh? This is facetious talking now. Greg Abbott, Republican Texas governor. Now, we say these people are for us. Listen to this. Just a reminder that Greg Abbott approved sending almost $14 million of our tax dollars to Islamic organizations in Texas. Now, this is the same government. Now, this is what's so funny. You know the big Plano thing that the Muslims were trying to build, and now everybody's against it. So now the Republicans are standing against it. And Greg Abbott came out the other day. We will not let this happen. People of Texas, he's lying to you because he gave $14 million. He allocated $14 million to these Islamic organizations in Texas. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, just straight up honest. I go to church every Sunday and Wednesday. I've not gotten a check, and our church hasn't gotten a check from the Mississippi governor or the United States government. Our religion's way more important, and that's kind of the basis for America, and somehow we haven't got any money. Why are we giving our taxpayer dollars to Islamic organizations? I'm just struggling here. I don't understand. Here's another thing I think is so funny. There's over 85% of all congressmen and senators are millionaires or multimillionaires, meaning they must just be phenomenal with money. You know, they make $174,000 a year, which is a phenomenal income now. But some of these guys have only been in Washington for 5 to 10 years, and now they're multimillionaires. They must be phenomenal with money. Very frugal, never spend a dollar. Now tell me, those same people, let's just think kindergarten level math here. Those same people that must be phenomenal with money then take and blow your money, spend money that we don't have, and ultimately put our people in debt up to their eyeballs. Because remember, when we tax people, that's a cost. But then we spend money, that's inflation, which is another tax. So we're getting double taxed. And then on top of that, we're getting taxed on our land, tax on our buys, tax on our gas, tax on everything. So help me understand, if these people are so good with money, why are they so bad with our money? Well, because they're so bad with our money, somehow our money ends up being their money, and their money ends up being a lot of money. Now, everything I've said about Congress has been completely sarcastic and facetious. And everything has been to a point where kindergartners can understand that. My kids could understand everything that we just said, how bad policies Congress are. And overwhelmingly, we support them, the left and right, and put them right back in office. One day we're going to realize this is a good versus evil. This is not a left versus right issue. I want you to listen to what James O'Keefe said, because I think it's great, and then we're going to move on to water. James O'Keefe come out and said kind of what Dan Bongino said the other day. He said, it's taken me a while to fully understand the fight against powers and principalities. It's about the darkness inside the hearts of men, the lack of conscience, the evil, and the ability to lie without remorse or introspection. I have seen such evil, and I'll never be the same. Now, we hear that, and again, he's an influencer like Dan Bongino, but I think he's exactly right. The evil that is coming and breathing out of Washington is unfathomable. We will never change that unless we get rid of all these people in Washington. Vote them out, find new people, because ultimately they are robbing you blind. It's the opposite of what Robin Hood is. They're actually taking from you, the poor, the working class, the ones who are just trying to make ends meet, and stealing your money right in front of you and becoming kings among us. Now let's move on to water. Water has become a big talk lately, and I've talked about it a lot on this video because what you're seeing is legalization, where we're allowing our liberal governors and liberal state representatives to say you cannot build ponds and lakes on your property. This is happening all the time now. So you have to get special permitting to build something on your own property. You bought the property, you paid the taxes on it, you paid the insurance on it, and now the government gets allowed to come to your property telling you if you can't, hold water or not hold water. So they're taking away your rights to build bodies of water on your own property. Secondly, they're taking your rights away from drilling your own well. They have to permit it now. Most states are making you say, well, even though you're paying for the well, even though you just paid $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 for a well, we have the rights to take the water that you are pumping out of the ground because it's our water. It's government water. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought this was a free nation. But now, in different places, California, Colorado, a lot in the West, Utah, some of these places are starting to put meters on your personal wells to say you can't use certain amounts. California aquifers are getting shut down, even though they were tapped by the farmer. The farmer's not allowed to pump them because there's meters on them. Rainwater catchment, it's starting to go away. You can't catch your own rainwater. Now, here in the South, we have a lot of rain. We catch water all the time, and I dare somebody come to my property and tell me I can't catch the rainwater from the heavens above. I'm going to go absolutely loco on them. But the bottom line is there's a lot of states right now that will not allow you to catch rainwater, which is absolutely unbelievable to me. Unbelievable to me that you've allowed your government to have that kind of power over you. So that's a lot said right there. Guess what else? Cities are granting access to places like Nestle and PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, all these companies, to tap their own aquifers to take the water from the people that is free and actually bottle it, stealing their water, and then turn around and sell it back to them as a purified filtered water. And actually what it is probably some water from some normal filtration system in the city. Happens all the time. It's happening in Chicago, happening in Michigan, happens all over. So we're giving our water a big business. So what can we do? Because Americans are not prepared for this. It says that 95% of Americans do not have access to clean water unless government allows it. meaning most people don't have their own wells. Most people don't have their own creeks and rivers. Most people don't have some amount of water storage put up. So let's go through a list right quick. Number one, catch water. If it's not illegal, or if it is and you can do it, I think you need to catch water. Catch water, catch water, catch water. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, Colby, what about all the stuff in the sky? Well, that could happen, but I'll be honest with you. I'm going to still catch it because then I can utilize it for other things like hygiene, flushing commodes, using it on crops. My animals so far have done pretty well. So until that time comes to where the water is completely tainted, I'm going to catch water. Number two, of course, that's free because I catch them in IBC totes. What I do is I put gutters on all my homes, all my buildings. I go right into an IBC tote for $40. I've got an IBC tote I bought that's used, cleaned it out. Most of them I make sure they're not chemical laced, but I let it go right in there, put a spigot on it, bam, we're done. So number one is catching water. Number two, I make sure that I have water storage. So I literally buy water. Now, when I was extremely broke and very early in my life, when I did not understand water, storage, I just bought bottled water and the gallon waters at Walmart or any other store that you buy them from. That is a good thing if that's all you can do. That's still water. The plastic on that is cheap. It's going to leach into your water. It's not good. It's been sitting out in the sun. It could be very carcinogenic. But if that's the only way that you can store water, please still store water because, again, you can do something with it later to treat it. So store water the best way you know how. I like storing water in true water soluble storage containers. So like we buy ours from Legacy Food Storage, or you can buy them online, but I buy literally 55 gallon, 100 gallon, and 30 gallon, and again some 10 gallon options of what they call water storage bricks or water storage containers. I stack them, I put spigots on them to where I have water and it does not have a leaching effect to it. It is a water made system. I buy things to hold water. So then I just literally fill up my own waters, I pour waters in them, I put them on the shelf. Number four, I find ways to filter and to make sure my water is safe to drink and purified. So I buy life straws or some form of a filtration system where I can literally go to the source and actually pull it off the ground. They make all kind of versions of different life straws or filtration straws that you can buy. There's what they call bladders, the same way. So buy some way of filtration. Also, you can learn to boil. So we make sure we have a propane stove and some boilers just for water that we keep with our water things. So that way we can actually boil water because that's a big deal. I also have treatment tablets. I buy water treatment tablets. That's something you can purchase at Walmart, Academy, any kind of outdoor stores. They come in a little thing. I think Coleman has a brand. I think a lot of people have, but they're just little water treatment tablets that will allow your water to at least not kill you if you drink it. And number five, I have to realize how much water we use. So anytime I can, so like for instance, my pool, salt water, we do no chlorine pool. The lakes and streams and the rivers that I have on my property, I'm always making sure they're flowing. I want to make sure they're not dammed up. I want to make sure they're holding like they're supposed to because that water is very important. So we have to realize how much water we're using. The average American uses 1 gallon to drink, 3 gallons of use today based on personal flushing, personal hygiene at least. Now, if you're filling up bath water, you're using 20 or 30 or 40 gallons a day. But I'm talking about on average, the average American needs at least 4 gallons a day to make it based on hygiene, drinking, cooking. So therefore, if you're saying 4 gallons a day times the amount of people in your family, how much water do you have on hand? So I think of that all the time. So I have 8 members of the family, and then of course Annabelle's pretty much family now with Aiden's girlfriend. So we have 9 members that's pretty much here all the time. That's 36 gallons a day at minimal I have to have. So that's why I'm catching water. That's why I'm checking my streams. That's why I have the treatment plants. That's why I literally stockpile as much water as I can because it's never enough. These are cheap economic ways to put your water up. Look at some options to buy the treatment tablets. Dirt cheap. I think they're like 13, 14 bucks. The life straws, dirt cheap. Please buy that. The bladders, the filtration systems. I have a reverse osmosis system that sits on my counter, Cove Pure. This is not a sponsorship, but I use filtrated water based on that if I need to. But to be honest with you, I also pump directly out of my well. Guess what? I have 2 hand pumps just for those wells, so I can actually use it without electricity if I had to. Water is key. Find ways to make sure that you have water. This is just 5 to 10 items that you can have. But water wars are coming, and it's going to get even more intense because it's going to hurt the farmer, which ultimately makes us more dependent on the government as a whole. If they control the rain, they control the water in the ground, then you have no access to water. Am I right? Then water's not free to you anymore. Water cost. And that's what the government's going to end up getting to, or big business. Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video, if it's with the water, or if it's with Congress, or if it's with this database surveillance system that Trump just opened up. I'm not happy with it. But to be honest with you, we're living in that world, and we're going to be talking about ways in the near future of how we can try to be as off-grid as possible while living on the grid. That'll be coming up in the next few days. So guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.